everybody's enjoying the winter storm we're having. We've had a great start to the year so far. We've gotten a week of frigid temperatures and 4 or 5 inches of snow here in Tennessee, which I guess we're not letting it stop us from getting out this weekend and going to camp for the first time here in 2024. So, where are we headed, Josh?
We're headed back up to our favorite spot at LBL.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that's the only place we ever go.
Yeah.
But we've got some plans. So the weather kind of put a damper on what we were going to do. We were going to Shawnee National Forest this weekend, and that kind of got messed up. One of the guys doesn't have, he just wasn't going to be able to make it. So he was kind of limited on where he could get, and with the roads being bad, so we decided to do something different. And then he decided he didn't want to get out with it being this cold anyway. So, so me, Josh, and our buddy David with the hulked out Hummer, he's coming with us, so he's behind us. He didn't do YouTube, so that's why he's not on here. So, what's the temp going to be tonight?
I think it's going to be like 8 degrees tonight, but the wind chill is going to be like -2 or so. It's going to be chilly.
Yeah. The coldest we've camped last year was about 20, I think.
Yeah, which was 2 degrees warmer than it is right now, and it's not even down to the low.
Yeah, so it's gonna be chilly. We're trying to get. I think we're gonna stop when we get closer to LBL. Stop and get some dinner, and that way we don't have to cook tonight. And then we'll get up in the morning. Probably be frigid, but we'll get up, cook some breakfast, and kind of.
We'll probably get up and be like, you know what? I really don't want to get out of this tent with this diesel heater.
That's probably true. So I wasn't concerned about the weather as much. It's sleeping. It is going to be pretty rough around camp, but I'm sure we won't do a lot of just hanging out. We'll build us a fire, and tonight anyway, build a fire and try to stay as warm as we can, get the tents warm, and get to bed early, I'm sure. Then again, it may not be that bad. I'm out in this every day, and so are you. So, I mean, and David works indoors, but he goes to a lot, so he's in and out of places all day. So he's kind of used to it a little bit. So,
well, hopefully, the last time we did this, when it was so cold, I put all the walls up on my awning, and we put our fire pits in there, and it was tolerable. But like I said, it was 20 degrees warmer then than it's going to be tonight. But I'll say with the fire pit in there, I think it was probably 20, 30 degrees warmer in the awning with the walls than it was outside. So
yeah, so I think if we do that, I think we'll be okay. But what do you guys use for heat? We've got diesel heaters. Me and Josh both have diesel heaters. David uses a heated blanket, but I don't think that's going to cover him tonight. So we're kind of in a unique situation. So David's going to use one of our diesel heaters. I brought my EcoFlow Wave 2, which is a heater or air conditioner. I've never used it for heat. It gets hot, but I don't know how long it'll last. So we know the diesel heaters will last, for a weekend anyway, all through the night. So if you use them, at night, they'll last all through the night as long as you have power to run them. But we've kind of that's what we use for heat. But we've kind of got a unique situation. Josh's truck's a little empty on the back.
Yeah.
So what's going on there?
All right. Well, the long story is I had bought a brand new tent from OVS the week before Overland Expo East, and got it the day. I think did we get it the day that we left, or the day before we left?
I think it was the day before you get it put on.
Yeah. So was that the first week of September? Yeah. Anyway,
this kind of sounds like a pattern. How you do
anyway, so I got the new OVS Bushville 2 tent, and I loved it. Well, took it, slept in it the weekend of Expo East, and it's been on the back of my truck ever since. Well, probably 2-3 months ago, I noticed that all four corners were just getting like hairline cracks in it, and it was a brand new tent. So I really didn't think a whole lot about it. I thought, well, maybe it was just like the clear coat and the plastic or something. Well, then I come out one day to go somewhere, and I noticed that it was like a real crack, and it was pretty substantial on 3 of the corners. So I checked the 4th corner, and it was about the same as it originally was. Well, I forgot to contact him at that point, but I was going to. I was like, okay, I need to contact him and find out. Well, it just progressively got worse. It wasn't leaking anywhere. It didn't really affect anything, but cosmetically it was looking bad, and I didn't know if that was going to keep spreading. Well, it did. It kept spreading and got worse and worse and worse. So I contacted them, and of course it was still under warranty. And basically, that it was a bad batch of the plastic shell that was on there. So they said it needed to be replaced, but they didn't have the replacements yet. So they actually gave me an upgraded aluminum clamshell tent, the Mamba 3. And all this started, I did this about a month ago, I guess, probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. And the new tent came in, 2 days ago? Or Wednesday. Came in Wednesday. Yeah. And, well, I have a Go Rhino rack on my truck, but I have a soft top. So my soft top is taller than a normal hard shell or hard top Jeep. And so I to be camping with my brother, or not camping, but sleeping in. We're sharing his tent tonight, so that's why we're gonna have an extra diesel heater. So
yeah,
we ought to, 2 big burly bearded guys ought to stay pretty warm tonight in one tent. So
yeah. And I bought I won't say it's the smallest, but it's like a full size at best. And I love my tent, but it's not set up for. I'm a big guy. He's a big guy, just a little smaller than me. So, and when me and my wife get in our tent, we're nice and cozy. But I don't know that I want to be that nice and cozy with him. So.
Yeah, I don't want you to be that cozy with me either. Jeff is asking, how comfortable are the mattresses in the tents? I don't know how comfortable yours is. I know mine is very comfortable. Oh, why'd you ask me? I don't remember what brand it is, but it is very comfortable. Lost Horizons is what it is. It's the 4.5 Loft. So it's the thick blow-up mattress.
The mattress in mine, it's pretty comfortable, but I've also got a 2-inch piece of memory foam. But it was not. I did it wrong. I put it underneath my mattress, thinking it would. I don't know why I did it that way, and so it's not as flush as I would like. That may be something we can do this weekend. It's going to be a nice, wonderful, warm weekend. We may can just swap all that around. But it's not dirt. For bigger guys, the mattresses need something else. I don't care which brand you get. The mattress that comes with most rooftop tents, you're going to need something else to go with it. Now, be the Big T Life joined us. Dad, your heater for the rack. No, Tony, I haven't figured that out. Side sleepers would probably be okay in the normal mattress that comes in a tent. So it kind of depends. Like if you sleep on your back, they're fine, but if you're a side sleeper, they're not. They're not great. But Tony's asking about, or Big T Life, he's asking about, did I get the diesel heater rack figured out? I haven't yet. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get my diesel heater mounted to the side of my tent, to where when I get to
I think we froze up. We went through kind of a bad spot there in that bottom.
all right, I think we're back.
Yeah, that's a bad spot right there with no service.
Yeah. So anyway, I was trying to get my tent and my diesel heater set up to where if something happens with the remote, if I need to cut it down or turn it off or turn it up or whatever, I could just reach out real quick instead of climbing down to mess with it. But I didn't get that done this weekend. So the big
Yeah, he could.
on what he can do right now, he had a knee accident, so he's kind of limited on what he can do.
Yeah, I think somebody injured with a knee or foot or hip injury, this is a good time of the year for them to get out and get on ice and try to camp.
Yeah, climbing around.
Yeah, well, at least he don't have to climb a ladder to get in a tent.
Yeah.
He just has to get on his knee to get inside the back of his truck.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be hard for him to get in and out. So, but hopefully the Big T Life will be with us very, very soon.
I hope so, because I sure miss seeing him on YouTube. I miss hanging out with him, but I miss his videos are very entertaining.
Yep.
So, and he's got a new mascot that I'd like to. We haven't seen on his channel yet, but I think we're going to be seeing more of that hopefully.
Maybe so.
Yeah. And I'd like to.
We're trying to make plans. Big T Life and me, and hopefully Josh will join us. We're going to try to go to Overland Expo Mountain East in Colorado this year. So I think that'll be a fun trip if we can actually we can make that work. Just kind of depends. I've been to the Expo East a couple of times, and we all went last year, and that's a great trip. But I'd like to try to go to one of the other ones. I'd love to go to Pacific Northwest, but I just don't think I've got enough time to drive all the way to Oregon.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for us. It'll take 4 days to get there.
Yeah.
But we could do it in 3, but we would be exhausted by the time we got there. We would have to
Trap the otter.
Trap the
What
otter.
is
Yeah,
it?
Trap the
Trap the
otter.
otter.
I can't wait to see Trap the Otter.
Yeah, he'll be good in the videos.
Oh, he will be great.
I hope Trap the Otter's keeping the Big T life nice and cozy as he's got his leg propped up, relaxing. So maybe kind of keeping him company while he's there.
Yeah, I want to know, Big T Life, are you sitting there with your knee propped up, looking at the water, drinking some hot chocolate, enjoying the heat with the fireplace going? Or
He says he's got about a 3-month recovery.
3 months recovery? That's too long. You have to be on the trails and in camp with us for 3 months. I don't think we can wait that long.
Well, the good thing is in Tennessee, there's a good chance in 3 months we'll still be getting freezing weather, or it could be 90. True. So
yeah.
Can y'all? I don't know if anybody can hear the rattling that's going on. I have this. So my camp table. I say this in every video. It's aluminum, and it doesn't matter what I put on it, what I put around it, or I'm pretty sure I could put it on top of my tent, strap it down, and I still would hear that thing rattle. It's driving me nuts. So if you can hear that, I apologize.
I don't hear anything in here. It's just nice and quiet. So let's talk about our I don't say all of our trips, but the vast majority of our camping trips. How do they typically go? I mean, because you can see it's it's 5:14 here, and we're on Eastern time. And
yeah.
So tell us how we make plans and how it usually goes for us.
Well, this is how the Big D said I'm watching the sunset over a frozen creek tonight. That sounds pretty epic, actually.
Yeah, it does.
So how our trips usually go are like this. I'll kind of lay it out. So I'll send out a group text to some guys and try to start planning something. So I'll set a date. Something always happens. Somebody can't go or whatever. That's just typical, and that's always going to be the case no matter what. So, one, if you're planning the trip, don't get discouraged by that. Two, the weather is usually going to do something to hinder it. Either it's going to rain, wind's going to be blowing. There's going to be something to kind of distract you. But those are the things that, and I'm going to ignore the Big T Life last comment there of I'm usually set up by one. What I know Josh was trying to point out is
because he don't like to leave with everybody else. He likes to get there before everybody else.
Which is helpful because he usually has our camp spot saved and has everything set up and gets so that's good. But the way it normally goes, Josh or David always have to work late, or they don't have a tent, or something cannot come in on the last minute, so it's taking a while. That's just how it goes. He doesn't get loaded up until the day we're leaving. We spent 2 hours today. I didn't have to really work today, and neither did he, but we're still at 5:15, and we're still an hour and a half away from camp. So I would say that it's
or sometimes it's you forgetting everything.
a hoodie or nothing. And luck, David was going to be real late, so we were able to. I called him and had him stop at my house, or actually my wife met him, and she gave him a hoodie.
Well, since he told all that, let me tell the truth.
That's kind of how
He typically forgets everything. And those of us that have to work late, he's just going to forget something. But they give me grief because I have all the gear. But I don't know how they can without me because I have to bring everything.
Well, luckily, I'm a minimalist, and Josh and Tony are the ones that have to bring all the gear. So as long as I have one of them there, I'm gonna have what I need. So I think the last time I got up here, I had coffee, but it was coffee whole bean, and I didn't have a coffee grinder. So
well, you don't even own a coffee grinder except for the one at your house. So it's like, why would you bring all bean? Oh, that's right, because you know that me and Tony have.
Well, I figured I was going to have somebody that would have a grinder, but anyway, that didn't happen because somebody didn't show up. Josh didn't show up that morning until about lunchtime. But
that's why you got to be prepared.
Talking about that was a situation of, again, we had a weekend planned, and by the end of the day, everybody was running scared because of a storm. So everything kind of changed. So Josh drives all the way up there, meets us, loads everything up, gets up there, and he stayed for about an hour, and we turned around and come home. So sometimes things happen, but we had fun.
Yeah, we did. We got to run some trails and have some fun before the storm showed up.
Yeah.
But no, all seriousness. Yeah, he's not a minimalist, Tony, at all. He's a hey, if you got this, so I can borrow it, or I'm glad you showed up because I forgot this. That's what he is.
Hey, but y'all have to give me this. You don't have to plan where we're going or any of that. I always take care of that part of it.
Yeah, we just have to plan on how to take care of you once you get there.
Well, you know, the sad thing is I preach to all the guys, make sure you're self-sufficient and you got everything you need. And I do usually have to borrow something to Josh. And when Josh is not there, Tony's my go-to. So the Big T Life, he usually takes care of it. So.
Yeah. Well, the Big T Life is, I think he's almost past me for gear. I don't know if he's completely past me, but we're neck and neck, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's getting pretty close. And I think we're going to have to go live here before long, and hopefully he's going to have some big news to tell us of the big changes to his rig. I hope that's where we're headed.
But I hope so too, yeah.
We'll kind of leave it at that, but I hope the big changes are coming to the Big T Life, his rig he's got. So we'll see. I don't think he's getting a new rig, but I think there's some big changes coming to it. So we're hoping that'll be on the channel in 2024. So we'll see. We'll kind of leave that at that.
Let's hope so. Yeah. I had planned to make some changes to my rig this year, but the tent wasn't one of them. But that tent shell cracking forced me to have to change, which I really didn't get to spend as much time with that Bushfield 2 as I wanted. I wanted to try it out and use it a little more and see if I like that style. And it was definitely better than the soft tent with the vinyl cover. But I had kind of always wanted a clamshell, but I wanted the style that that opens twice to give it a little more foot room. But this Mama 3 is actually one of the bigger clamshell tents, and I think it'll be fine. But I would have liked to have gotten a little more time with the Bushfield 2 to see how it was going to work out, but that didn't happen.
I don't know how you could get a bigger. Uh, uh, that didn't help. I don't know how you could get a bigger clamshell kit than what you got. That thing's massive.
Yeah, I don't know. It is big. It's one of the heaviest on the market, and it may be one of the biggest on the market, which is good because I'm a big guy. I want to have plenty of room. You know, I don't really want a bunch of weight, but I mean, you gotta sacrifice somewhere.
No, I think I said a few years, a couple of years ago, I said that which there wasn't as many options back then, and this was a lot more expensive. Now they've got a lot more options that are a lot less money, but I'm pretty certain you could have gotten a Go Fast or something like that back in
Well, yeah, I don't think it'll be close. They're almost twice now what they used to be, but I've got in my wish or bucket list. I really want a dirt box. I'm not a super big fan of the ones where you get up inside your bed in your truck, crawl up in. Those are nice, but I have so much crap in the bed of my truck. I don't think I would utilize that part of it. But it is nice that it's all one unit. So that's the appealing part to me. However, I do want some type of box, whether it's just the dirt box camper shell that's on the back with a rooftop tent on the top of that, or going with their whole unit and just not utilizing that part of it because it's really relative to how a person camps, and I've never camped that way. Not to say that if I did it, I wouldn't love it. I think Tony with the Big T Life, I think that's would fit right up his alley because he's used to getting in the bed of his truck, and he doesn't have so much stuff in the bed of his truck where he can't get in there and stand up. Where I typically carry enough to where I can live out of the back of my truck for 6 months. So I don't know. I don't want to have to take all that stuff out just to get up in and get in it. And I have a pretty large refrigerator, in the bed of my truck.
I think you could have some cases mounted inside there. I think you could make it work. But
oh yeah, possibly.
Somebody's asking. Okay, the merch is on. I think through Sunday at shopoverlandapparel.com. It's got our shirts, hoodies. Got a couple of different designs, shirts and hoodies, long sleeve shirts. I think it's 15% off site wide, so make sure you go over there before Sunday and take advantage of the 15% off. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. I actually did that first
not just ours, that's everybody.
Yeah, I actually ordered some more gear, or not gear, but I ordered a long sleeve shirt and a long sleeve shirt and a t-shirt again this morning, and I think it saved me $14 to $15 or so.
And there's two new colors on the hoodies too.
Okay.
From the original
I bought a long sleeve shirt. I didn't have any of your "This is how we hydrate" shirts. I had all of just the regular Anvil Adventure ones, so I went and ordered the hydrate ones this morning.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, back to talking about how it usually goes when we go camping. On a serious note, one of the things we set up camp at night a lot. Like ever since we started doing this 4 or 5 years ago, or however long was it, 5, 6 years ago, however long it's been now. I would say the vast majority of our setups have been at night, like in the dark. whether it be because we have to go so far. I mean, Tennessee's a beautiful state, but we're in West Tennessee, and most of our pretty stuff is in East Tennessee. Um, and if we want to go anywhere that's other than a state park, we got to drive at least a minimum of 2 hours, 3 hours. And if you don't get off work till 4 or 5 o'clock, especially this time of year, it's going to be dark. And we would love to spend more time over in Arkansas and the Ozarks, but it's a 5.5, 6 hour drive for us. And even then, we get there and set up. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's just
I love exploring new places and going new and doing all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I want to do more of that in 2024. But if it's a situation where I can't do that, I enjoy getting out, even if I got to go to the same place, just getting out. And which I don't know, tonight's the best time for this, but getting out, waking up in the morning and being able to look out over the water. Not all of us are like the Big T Life and can walk out on our porch and see the river. But so we got to drive a little bit. So that's,
Well, I don't. I have a spot right. Me and my wife drink our coffee in the morning. We just pull the blinds back and we can see water and geese and ducks and everything. And it would be nice and toasty there in the morning. But I chose to come out here and to freeze it with you to drink coffee in the morning while we're shivering.
Well, my morning is usually sitting at my Mac drinking coffee because if I go outside, I'm looking at privacy fences and houses everywhere. So that's not the most relaxing.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of way we go to LBL a lot, but it is at least we're lucky enough to have that we can go to. It's an hour, 45 minutes or so to get to camp, but at least we have that we can get to. I'd love to go back. I mean, I want to go back to the Ozarks for sure this year. Like to go down and do part of the Georgia Traverse. Talladega National Forest was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed that when we went down there a couple of years ago. Maybe try to go down there, but Tennessee's just not the best place to. At least, and even on the other end of the state, it's beautiful, but you're still in that. You have to go to a state park, which is a campground.
Right.
You can't disperse camp, or so you're kind of just stuck unless you want to go to a Walmart or a Cabela's or something like that and camp in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Short sleeves are available right now at shopoverlandapparel.com. Everything on the website is always, it's always available. They never, so whatever is on the link. And it's not just our stuff, it's everybody that you might possibly watch on YouTube. So they've got, this is probably, I would say they're pushing probably 100 different channels, influencer businesses that are on the site. So
yeah, I actually bought my wife. She just got a new 2024 Toyota Sequoia, so I bought her a lady Toyota's Lady Overland or whatever it is, their channel. I bought her a shirt from them to wear. And then I bought a couple of his. They have a lot of different. I have stuff from Ozark Overland Adventures. They have everybody who you would watch, I think.
So we've got a.
Well, what are we? Did we decide? I think we're going to stop and get something to eat here, aren't we? You there?
Still open. I think open to 6 unless they're closing because the weather's bad. Let's stop at Trollinger's and we'll figure out where we're going to eat.
Okay.
Trollinger's. If you ever come through Paris, Tennessee, Trollinger's is just a big. It's a gas station. Looks like a big barn, kind of. But they've got a meat department. Just all kinds of. That's where I always, when I come up through here, I always get steaks cut, get bacon and that kind of stuff. And speaking of that, do you have any meat for breakfast?
Well, I have 8 pork chops.
Got pork chops. We can grab some bacon while we're at Trollinger's.
Okay.
I try to always stop there. So if you ever come through Paris, definitely make the stop there. So we've got I don't know who that is. What's your favorite thing about LBL?
Mine? It has a lot of what you want to see. I mean, there's good trails. There's a lot of water. There's some beautiful camp spots. It's close enough to us that we can, drive in an afternoon or something. They're really good trails, but I think we come so much is the only, I want to say, it's not really even a negative. It's just we've explored probably most all of it. But that being said, we know all the good places to stay. We know all the kind of tricks and trails and everything, the ins and outs. And there's a lot of in and out trails, but there's several cool trails that are loops, things like that. So it's convenient. Convenience, I guess, will probably be my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because there's you're gonna deal with mud. So that's if you don't like mud, that's when the weather's been like it's been. But that's got some. I mean, there's no like major like river crossings, but there's some pretty good creek crossings. There's a few trails that get a little the mud holes and things like that get a little crazy.
Yeah.
There's nothing like overly technical up there, really. I mean, they do have an off-road park, so I mean, you could go to Turkey Bay, and there's a Jeep Badge of Honor trail. I mean, and it's the most difficult thing you can think of in there, but but you're dealing with four-wheeler, and it's packed. When the weather's good, it's insane.
Yeah, it's usually packed.
So we're pulling into Trollinger's, so we're going to stop and get something to eat. So we might get back on here and go live here in a little bit. But thanks, everybody, for joining. And we'll talk to y'all after we grab some food and figure out where we're going to stay. We'll talk to y'all. Maybe get back on live. See ya.
Be good.